As long as that constitution is there, you can never restructure this country. Okay. And the people that are supposed to do it are in the legislative arms of the government. Majority are from the north. Majority are Fulanis. They're not going to allow you to reform the system, because when you do, they're going to be out of power. So it's just a wishful thinking. I know some people, even in the southwest, Yorubas, that feel that the best way to go now is to restructure. But I think the best way to go at this point is for everybody to go their way. There's no way countries within the country can continue to tolerate the Fulanis the way they have gone. Now that they've gotten Chinese to also colonize us. Recently, they said the Chinese said that we cannot shop in their shopping complex because we are black people. Who brought the Chinese in?
You know, I came across this video and I asked myself a question. Why is the people, as in why is federal government of Nigeria not listening to this type of people with these smart ideas on what Nigeria can do as a country to move forward to the next level? Why are they not listening to these smart ideas from this type of people? I have watched a lot of videos from this man, Kunle Olawumi, and he has never sounded like a novice. He has never sounded like anybody that does not know anything about Nigeria. He has always been on point with smart ideas that can move Nigeria forward as a nation. But why the federal government of Nigeria is not listening to most of those ideas is one thing that I do not know. Does it mean that they are not seeing these videos, or they just see them and turn deaf ears to them? How are we going to move forward? There is something this man said at the beginning of this video, that the best way forward for Nigeria as a country is for everybody to be on their own. Because of the mentality, the system of governance, the mentality of the people in charge of that governance in the country. You know, that the best way forward is for everybody to be on their own. Which, if you look at it very, very well, that is exactly how it is supposed to be, for people to have peace. But why the federal government of Nigeria is not listening to most of these smart ideas is one thing that I do not understand. What he said here is one of the things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been saying, which means he has been very, very sincere in all the things he has been saying. But why they are still holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there is one thing that I do not know. With all this, whatever trial, whatever thing going on there, why they are still keeping him there is one thing that I do not understand. This man is saying exactly one of these things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been saying, which everybody sees very, very clearly that it is one of the best ways forward for the country. You know, this particular video will make you understand so many things going on in Nigeria. Okay, now, he said that there was a statement that Chinese made that we cannot be shopping in their own shopping mall because we are black people. Do you understand that we cannot be shopping in their own shopping mall because we are black people in our own country? And I am sure the people in charge of the leadership in the country must have come across this. They must have heard this from, even if it is not from the right source or from other sources, they must have heard this from this man. And nothing was done about this particular statement. Maybe they were seeing it like a normal thing. In our own country, Nigeria, somebody from somewhere came in and gave an order that you cannot be coming in to shop in our own shopping mall because we are black people. And nothing was done about that statement. You know, this video will make you understand so many things. That Nigeria is not supposed to have any problem. The only problem we have as a nation is the mentality of the people in charge of the leadership of the country. I came across one video from the president that I will bring later, but for this one, just calm down and watch all these things that this man is saying in this video. You will understand that there is nothing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been doing that is wrong. He has been on point, because that is the same thing that this particular man, Kunle Olawumi, is prescribing here. That for Nigeria to have peace, for the people of Nigeria to have peace, the best way forward is for people to be on their own and do things as a separate country, not under anybody or under anywhere. Take a look at this video.
I think democracy is a catalyst for terrorism. It's not an antidote. No. It's a catalyst, especially in Nigeria.
Okay.
The reason why we are having Niger Delta militancy, Boko Haram, and I don't want to be misquoted, but democracy has a great role to play in the evolution of terrorism in Nigeria. Why do I say so? I know the history of terrorism, how it started. I mean, the Boko Haram, how it started in Borno region. It was just a governor that recruited people to basically create fear in the opponent. Call me if you don't do my will, then we're going to take you out. And it worked. So he became governor and basically abandoned the boys in the bush. And those ones have to survive. So what did they do? They start attacking people, attacking banks, kidnapping people, collecting money, because they have to survive basically. Because the person that brought them to do the job has been done, and he has put them aside. So that's democracy for you, okay? Niger Delta militancy is the same. An aspirant, maybe governorship, aspirant, presidential aspirants, we gather some people, arm them to intimidate the opponent. After winning the election, they abandon. So that is democracy, the way we practice here. And it's not that different from what is happening in America.
Okay.
The only place you see democracy in action for me is in the Nordic regions, where you have, the Scandinavian countries where they have been able to achieve a very high level of integrity when it comes to democracy.
Okay.
But in Nigeria and Africa, is the catalyst for all the problems we have now. And I think we should begin to change the way we govern ourselves. We can't copy what is happening in America. America has just two parties. In Nigeria, you have many parties. And when you see the more parties you have in a country, the more divided that country is.
Yes.
Look at what happened in the last election in Nigeria. You have Obi, all the Igbo saying Obi must rule. You have Tinubu, all the Yorubas, yes, that's you have Atiku, and all the people do not. So you keep, it is the catalyst for division. And the longer you run democracy, the way we run in Nigeria, the more the chances there of division in the country. As it were now, you have a lot of nationalities trying to break away from Nigeria. And it's as a result of the democracy we practice. The Southeast say they want to be there. Since their own son did not win, then we want to go on our own. Despite that, it's Tinubu that is ruling. They are not very convinced that the North is still not controlling the power in Nigeria. And this is where I think I will advise the country to look critically into the current situation. As a practitioner in the field of security and intelligence gathering, I know that this country is sitting on a cable compound. As a result of the democracy, the kind of democracy we practice. So to answer your question, I think it's a catalyst, and it's something that people should come together and think about. How do we practice democracy that will not hurt the system? I want to be kind to the two organizations, but I don't want to use words that comes to my mind. It's a shame, let me just be mild, that African Union has become a place where the Democrats, the diplomats, sorry, not Democrats, they just go to collect extra codes and collect money and just fanfare. It's a shame. I remember Gaddafi was so strong that the African Union have maybe like United States of Africa, where we can have free movement of people, goods, services. But it will not work because that will not be in the interests of the world powers. When I say world powers, I'm talking about the big economies. Because this is their farm. This is where they're going to take their resources. So if African Union is able to stand then it's not going to be in their interest because they will not have free access to resources in the DRC Congo, as they presently have. They will not have free access to resources in the Zagreb region because you have to contend with the African Union if you want to take anything out. The issue of cohesion within the AU is going to be the panacea for development in Africa. ECOWAS is jinxed, since the ECOMOG, an economic Community of West African State Monitoring Group that we did in Liberia and Sierra Leone. Since Nigeria did that, the global power felt that we are becoming a threat to their interests in Africa, particularly France. And the monetary aspect, the free movement, all the good programs of ECOWAS, they make sure that it never happens. We're supposed to be spending in ECOWAS. The French ensure that the Francophone countries in West Africa are still spending the money they don't spend anymore. CFA. They don't spend CFA anymore. They are now spending euro. And they pin down all the West African countries to be spending CFA, which they don't spend again. Tie their economy. 80% of their GDP is tied with France. And why should they allow them to have common currency in ECOWAS? So I don't need to say more, but it implies that ECOWAS has basically almost failed. We just call on the chairman of ECOWAS at this point to put his hands together and bring Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger back to the fold and try to understand that the challenge they are having is from outside Africa because of the resources in this area and how these people have continued to enslave the people of West Africa in order to develop Paris, London, and perhaps New York. So they should understand that it's not rocket science to know that these people come to disorganize you, make sure you are not talking to each other. I mean, look at Nigeria. It's the only country speaking English in West Africa. This has happened since 1884, the Berlin Conference. Clever. Cameroon to our east, French. Chad to the north, French. Niger to the north, French. To the west, Benin Republic, French speaking. Then they reinforce it with Togo, French speaking. Before you can get to Ghana, that speaks English. Why can't, are we being tied? Is our brain being tied? Why can't we, dissolve this cancer that was planted, some years back? I don't blame the foreign powers. They will always pursue their interests. Anybody will pursue their interests. So their interest is to ensure that we don't speak one language, we don't trade together. And if you think you are smart and you want to trade with Benin or Togo, they are going to fraud Benin and Togo with goods and services that will kill your own economy in Nigeria. Because they're going to throw in all subsidized goods. Chicken will be maybe like $0.50, and your farmer cannot produce chicken at $0.50. So they will flood the place and destroy your economy, make your economy dependent on them. It's a very complex situation. So ECOWAS and AU need reforms. The people in Africa should open their eyes. It's common sense that you need a strong African Union to be able to chase these foreign people out of your continent. We cannot go to Norway and say we want to go and dig for crude oil in Norway. We cannot go to the North Sea and say we want to take crude oil from North Sea. But they are here destroying the environment, and causing terrorist actions, terrorism, war, division, and taking the resources. We should see beyond the veil. Why can't we see beyond the veil? Is what is disturbing for me. So AU and ECOWAS need to be reformed. They need to perform their roles, and they should not allow the foreign powers to keep on dividing them.
Nigeria cannot be restructured. We cannot. No matter how people,
no matter how they try. Because in any society, trust is very important. Trust is very important. When I was younger, we only know Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo. Okay? That doesn't mean that others don't exist. But today, I started hearing Hausa Fulani. Then after some time, we only hear Fulanis. And it's like Nigeria has been colonized by the Fulanis right now. No doubt about that. We were colonized by the Arabs before. We were colonized by the British. We regained our independence. And now we have been colonized again by the Fulanis. In the political sphere, economic sphere, even social sphere. Because we are having some parts of this country now that is run by Sharia law. Recently, some northern governors carried themselves to the United States to go and discuss issues. Nigeria is already polarized, it's already divided. Not that because I'm saying it, but because of the actions of the North. They see themselves as a monolith. They just talk like a country and take action like a country. Where is the National Security Advisor when some people gather themselves as governors and travel outside to go and perform the job of the National Security Advisor and nobody will talk? This country cannot be restructured because the cancer has eaten so deep. We allow the cancer to eat so deep that I think we've gotten to a point of no return. It's just a matter of time that there will be conflagration, because I know deeply that the Yoruba nations are ready to go. And I know that the Igbos long times are ready to go their way. And you now want to sit down and say we should restructure when all the powers, all the political powers in this country is in the hands of the Fulanis. If you want to win an election in this country, you must go to them. Even when Tinubu is there right now, it's a Yoruba man, is there. But it's not controlling the state. That's why people will come out and say that people should go and appease Boko Haram. And they are still in government. So, the deep state in Nigeria are the Fulanis. They are enshrined and they are actually controlling the state of affairs. And restructuring Nigeria is not going to be in their interest. They're not going to allow it to happen. What do you do with the Constitution? Are you going to tear the paper? As long as that Constitution is there, you can never restructure this country. And the people that are supposed to do it are in the legislative arms of the government. Majority are from the north. Majority are Fulanis. They're not going to allow you to reform the system, because when you do, they're going to be out of power. So it's just a wishful thinking. I know some people, even in the Southwest, Yorubas, that feel that the best way to go now is to restructure. But I think the best way to go at this point is for everybody to go their way. There's no way countries within the country can continue to tolerate the Fulanis the way they have gone. If you have been colonized by the Arabs, you've been colonized by the British, so now we have been colonized by the Fulanis, and we want a reform. What happened to last year panel report? There was a constitutional conference during Ebele Jonathan. What happened to it? Who's making sure the constitutional conference report is not utilized? Who's doing that? It's the Fulanis. And those are the things that can reform. The restructure that you are talking about, it's not going to happen. We're going to continue like this. It's either people make bold to break out of the jail, or you pretend that all is well, and you keep on pretending that you can restructure this. How it's like you said that the P5 should restructure the issue of nuclear proliferation. They should drop their nuclear power so that the world will be safe. You want to tell the Fulani to drop their power so that Nigeria will be better. So it's not going to happen. And please don't talk about restructuring. I know a lot of people will criticize what I'm saying. It's because they don't know. I know. Nigeria cannot be restructured. So it's either we keep on pretending that all is well and we allow Fulanis to continue to govern us and colonize us, and others, they will take your resources. 80% of the owners of your oil wealth are from the north. Now that they brought in Chinese to also colonize us. Recently, they said the Chinese said that we cannot shop in their shopping complex because we are black people. Who brought the Chinese in? So, I know a lot of people will criticize my position, but it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen because the North will not allow restructuring the way you think, and we cannot continue with the status quo. So if you cannot continue with the status quo, what else? If you don't allow peaceful negotiation, then I think the alternative is maybe people will either take laws into their hands and break away from the slavery that has happened before. Apartheid in South Africa. People rose and said no way, and they got out of it. So there's limit to which you can continue to enslave people and using ego, you know. If you look at the cause of treasonable issues like terrorism and so on, one is money, two is what? Ideology, then ego. So all are present in present-day Nigeria, sliding towards the Fulanis. They have access to the money and they have ego issue. Sokoto said they are born to rule. So when you look at their psychologists and their psych, and they are talking about restructuring, if you restructure, how can they be born to rule? They can't. So it's not going to happen.